Now, whenever you use your future value formula, you want to keep in mind that depending on what you're asked, we know that they can ask for your monthly installment, they can ask for your future value, and they can ask for N in grade 12. For grade 12, they won't ask you for I, because in the scope of your syllabus, you don't have methods to work out I for this particular formula. With isolating X, we know that it is basic algebra. If you had to make X the subject of the formula here, we know that the first thing you would do is that you would multiply by I on both sides. As in, this I will cancel out there, and then here you'll have Fi is equal to that. Now, obviously at this point, we know that to get X on its own, you're just going to divide by this entire bracket on both sides. Meaning on the right hand side, you're going to divide by that. On the left, you divide by the same value. Meaning if you ever need to work out your monthly installments, the first thing you may want to do for yourself is, in your main formula, isolate your value for X and then just throw in the values that you will be given there. Now, if you need to make N the subject of the formula, or you're asked for your value for N for a future value annuities question, you need to keep in mind that here you're going to eventually need to use logs. So firstly, the first thing you may want to do is, here with our main given formula, on both sides we know that we can multiply by I. This is giving us Fi is equal to X, open bracket, times 2, and then 1 plus I, close bracket, N, minus 1 there. So we know that at this point, we know that we are somewhat not very far from isolating N, because the next thing here is we can divide by X on both sides, and then we have there 1 plus I to the power of N minus 1 on the right hand side. Furthermore, the negative 1 can come to the left, and then we'll have a plus 1 there. On the right hand side, this is all that's going to be left. Now at this point in time, we are now going to need to use logs to isolate N, in the sense that if you keep in mind logs, anytime you will use logs, you need to somewhat fill 3 slots with values, in the sense that in our case here, we know we need to use logs because we need to isolate a value that's in the exponent position. Now, anytime you want to isolate a value that's in the exponent position, you isolate that value, as in you leave it on its own. And then on the left hand side, you put log there, right? So in the sense that you see, keeping in mind this here, we will always have our exponent, which is what we have here. Now in these 2 slots here, you will always have a base, that will always be exponent. So here we have our exponent there, and then whatever this base is, this will go there, and then this entire value here will just go there. This is what you will need to do to isolate N. Now this log expression here on your calculator, if you're using Casio, just under your on button, you will see that there's a value, or there's a button for log there that has 2 slots. That will help you better understand what these 2 slots are. This one here is slightly under the log, and then this one here is leveled with your log there. So this is what you need to do to isolate N.